Hey there teachers, welcome to Miss Estruch Teach and Tell, the podcast where every week I dive into all the tips and tricks that make teaching life so much easier. Whether you're a veteran educator, an early career teacher learning the ropes, or balancing the classroom with being a busy parent, this will help you streamline your workload and bring a bit more balance to your life. You bring the coffee and I'll bring the teach and tell. It is just not possible for some teachers to even get on the property ladder. The cost of living crisis is real and there is no quick fix coming from the government anytime soon. But what if you could take control yourself? Today we're exploring ways to use your teaching skills to bring in some extra income. Hey there teachers, welcome back to Miss Estruch Teach and Tell, your go-to for practical, actionable tips to make your teaching life a lot easier, and today a lot more lucrative as well. I'm Miss Estruch, your host, former head of department, and now an educational entrepreneur, helping teachers save time, reduce stress, and yes, even make more income. This week's episode is one I'm really excited about because we're talking all about how to monetize your teaching skills. With inflation, high rent, and other costs making it tougher to make ends meet, a side income can make a huge difference. That's honestly one of the main reasons I started the Miss Estruch Biology business, as well as also wanting to help more students. I love the creative side as well. But I'll be sharing some side hustles that you can explore that don't take away from your main job, but can definitely help you get a financial boost. Okay, quick coffee catch-up. This week, what have I been doing? Well, I've been focusing on launching this podcast this week. So there's been lots of content I've been creating on social media to try and spread the word about this new Teach and Tell podcast. So that's been my busy week. And as we're thinking about ways to be thrifty, but also boost your income, I'm going to do a quick reminder here about Grind Coffee. Grind Coffee is a coffee company that sends you coffee each month. They're amazing. It's the coffee I always use. And the best part, you can get £10 off your order using my referral code, which is in the show notes and the description on YouTube. This is not sponsored, it is not gifted, it is just the coffee that I use and genuinely love. And because I have a subscription, I get a referral code. So it gets me free coffee and it gets you £10 off. So you're literally helping to keep this show running by fueling my coffee habits. Right, monetizing your teaching skills. Let's dive into these strategies. Now, I do want to start off by just saying these are not get rich quick schemes. They're genuine ways to leverage the hard work you've already put into your teaching skills and materials. It's also not going to be for anyone who is already struggling with a work-life balance and who is going to be currently prioritizing their self-time, their me time, family time. It's for people who might have a little bit of time that they can give to this, but are in real need of boosting their income. So option number one is, of course, tutoring. This is one of the most straightforward ways to earn an extra income as a teacher. You already have the expertise, you're already qualified, so why not offer it directly to students privately? Even if you just find 1 hour or 2 hours a week, it can really help financially. When I first started tutoring, it was back in, I think 2017, pre-children, and I started with 1 hour a week. And I used the website Tutor Hunt to find students. As soon as I started, not only did I enjoy it, but I couldn't believe how much more money I was getting as a teacher. Because at that point, I was lower down on the pay scale. I was renting. I still couldn't afford my first property because I couldn't afford to have that huge deposit that is needed. And that's why I started tutoring. And I realized it was pre-kids. I could actually find a lot more time in the evenings. And I started doing lots of tuition per week. And that helped me pay for some amazing holidays that year and to get the down payment on my first flat. Nowadays, I don't actually use Tutor Hunt. When I started my YouTube channel and website, I was getting a lot of requests because people now were aware of me from my social media presence and my presence on YouTube. So I now just get my tutees from word of mouth. And actually linked to that, I now only do 2 hours maximum a week because I want to have more flexibility with my time. So I get lots of requests for tuition and I only take 2 students per year. So if you are actually listening and you're a maths or a science teacher and you're interested in picking up some tutoring clients, feel free to email me at my email, missestruch@gmail.com, because I still get tons of requests and I have to tell them I'm fully booked, and quite often they say, do I have anyone I could recommend? And also I have people asking, do I know any physics or chemistry or maths as well? So yeah, send me an email and I can chat to you about that. Option number 2, one of the easiest ways that doesn't require anywhere near as much time as tuition is to start earning by selling your resources on platforms like Teachers Pay Teachers and TES, Times Educational Supplement online. And I know sometimes people feel conflicted about doing this because historically, TES, it was all just free uploads. I think it used to just be free. And then maybe 10 years ago or less, they introduced that you could start charging for your resources. And some people felt very uncomfortable about this idea because the whole idea was that you were sharing resources to help people. But the way to consider this is you are still sharing resources and you are still helping people because we're all teachers, we're all struggling. People aren't charging a lot, but you are getting the benefit of that person has just saved you a load of time. They're getting the benefit of they shared that resource, they now get a little bit of extra income, which teachers need. So if you do have any lesson plans or worksheets, activities, assessments, or classroom activities that you've put the time and energy into, why not offer them to others and charge for it? It helps other teachers, it saves them prep time, and it gives you that passive income stream. Just make sure any resources you sell are entirely your own creation. There's no copyright images or text, and then you can set up your own shop on one of those platforms, upload a few well-designed resources, and just see what happens. The next one on the list is a time-consuming one, but it could be something that you could do in your school holidays. So the next route is try freelance writing for publishers. Now, I've actually done this. I've worked for Oxford University Press and Cambridge University Press. I originally did that over the school holidays and in the evenings. And I actually just reached out to them. I found their details on LinkedIn and I just found the relevant person. I found the science editors for the books and I wrote them a letter saying, I'm looking for work over the summer holidays. I've got this level of experience. I'm really passionate about science and helping students. I would love to be able to work or contribute towards any projects you have coming up which require a science teacher specialist to write content. And that is how I got the position with Oxford University Press. Cambridge actually reached out to me. I think they found me through YouTube, but Oxford University Press, I just pitched myself to them, and that's how I ended up writing the entire new caboodle for GCSE AQA biology. I reached out to them and they said, actually, yeah, that saved us a lot of time. We were about to have to go and find someone, but from what you've said, what you've shown us, you can do it for us. So if that's something you'd be interested in, then just start looking out there. Who are the different publishers for resources or books in your subject, or even education creators online, because that is what I am now. And I do reach out to teachers to help me to write some of the resources that I have, because I have so many ideas and I don't have the time to do them by the set deadlines I want them created for. So you could always reach out to publishers, content creators, and just see, are they interested in your skill set? And they may well pay you a contracted job over one of the holidays. Now, the next one kind of links to the previous ideas, and that is creating a social media brand. This one is a far bigger project, but hear me out, because if you enjoy teaching and you enjoy helping others, then you may well enjoy creating a social media platform, sharing tips, resources, teaching stories, and you could do that all through a new Instagram channel or even YouTube channel if you wanted to go for that. And with enough traction, this can lead to you being able to sell your own resources on your own website, which is exactly what I do, or offering your own tuition, which is what I do, without having to work with third-party platforms who take a cut or having to reach out to other brands. Now, as I said, this is the route that I took with Miss Estruch Biology, and it has allowed me to have full control over my schedule and my income, which, as a co-parenting mum of twins, that has been so helpful, because I am now financially free that I can provide for my two twins by myself, and I have the flexibility to work around that and have a lifestyle that I would like to have also. So how it would work then, once you've got a set of resources, or even just one resource, you would need to make people aware of it. So that's where social media comes in. You could create your social media presence, and that can be an incredibly powerful way to reach other teachers who might want to use your resources. So platforms like Instagram or Twitter's really big with teachers, or it's not Twitter now, is it? It's X. Full of teacher communities, and sharing a post or two can let teachers know that you've got something of value to offer. Now, if you are interested in this route, but you have no idea how to start, I do offer coaching for people that want to take the same route as me. So if you are interested in finding out what you should do, how to get started, or maybe you've already started but you want to know how to really boost it, then just send me an email, missestruch@gmail.com, and I can talk to you about how I could help you boost that business. And then the last one on my list, another great option could be to be an examiner for your exam board. So if you're teaching GCSEs or A-levels, this could be a perfect fit, particularly since COVID, because they now struggle to get examiners, because during COVID times, everyone that used to be an examiner and got paid for it, they weren't paid for those 2 years because exams didn't go ahead. But they were then told by their schools, you have to mark these papers. And it really annoyed people that used to be examiners who got paid for it. Now exam boards were making teachers mark the papers that year without getting any money for it. So there is a shortage of examiners now, and exam boards often hire teachers to mark papers. And in fact, a lot of them have a rule that you have to have been a teacher. A lot of them have a rule that you have to be a current teacher, or you have left teaching within the last 6 years, so that you are actually familiar with the spec and the content. And while this marking is intensive work, it can be both rewarding financially and in terms of professional development. Plus, you'll gain a deeper insight into how the exams are graded, which you can apply in your own teaching. So that one is a really good way to develop yourself. So it's basically like being paid to do CPD. So I think that's a great option, but just be aware it's a very intense, like 2-3 week period where pretty much all of your free time you're going to be marking. But it's 3 weeks, depending on how many papers you mark. I think you usually get somewhere between £600 and £1,000, as I said, depending on which paper you're marking and how many you do. But it's a nice little boost before the summer. All right, let's move into our quick win of the week. If you're not ready to sell resources, instead you could consider setting up simple referral or affiliate links with companies you already know and love. So Amazon, for example, you can actually become an affiliate with Amazon, and then you can copy and paste any of those products, share it with someone else, and you get a small cut when they actually make the purchase through that link. And it is a small cut, mind you, because I do that. And if you think about, I've got nearly 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I make maybe £30 every 5 months from Amazon. So Amazon maybe isn't the best example, but there are other ways and other affiliate programs which I think you can get a lot more money from them. That then leads us on to our resource roundup. And this week's free resource roundup is the checklist I've got for teachers who may want to start uploading the resources onto TES, or Teachers Pay Teachers. So everything you need to know about setting up your profile, posting resources, creating resources, I'm going to link in the show notes so you can download that checklist and get started. So that's it for today. I hope these ideas give you a fresh perspective on the potential of your teaching skills. It's not always easy, but even a little extra income could make a huge difference, and you deserve to feel financially comfortable. If you have found today's video helpful and you've enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these episodes, and leave a review. Leaving a review helps to boost the podcast so that more teachers like you can find it and get ideas and support that they may need. And if you want even more advice, then join me on Instagram, which I've got linked in the show notes, where I share tips, teacher memes, resources, and also a few free CPD resources and ideas as well. But for now, I'll see you next week. You bring the coffee and I'll bring the teach and tell.